JoBlo.com. I'm serious.
Hey, JoBlo.com, this is Eric Walkuski, and I am sitting here amongst royalty. I hope he doesn't mind me flattering him too much, but it is Michael Biehn indeed. This is a great moment for me, man, and for our audience, because I think we all grew up with a few of your movies that we all know by heart, I think we could say safely.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, well, do you ever get sick of hearing that stuff?
Well, you know, I've never really been a movie star. I mean, back when in the 80s, I mean, people look back at the 80s and they think about the Terminator and they think about Aliens and they think about The Abyss and The Rock and they go, he's a movie star. And I really wasn't, you know. I wasn't one of those guys who was like Bruce Willis or Tom Cruise, and I wasn't making $20 million a movie. I just wasn't. I was working for Jim Cameron. And, you know, when you're working for Jim, you know, he likes that money up on the screen, you know. He can get actors, you know, a dime a dozen because we all want to work with him.
Well, let's talk about Comic-Con real quick. I mean, have you been here before?
No, not to San Diego.
Okay.
I have been to the other big Comic-Con that I went to was in Atlanta. I think it was a pretty big one. But yeah, sure, I've been to a lot of Comic-Cons.
And you're here?
I used Comic-Cons when I directed the first movie that I directed, which kind of started our company. It was called The Victim. And I would go to the Comic-Cons and like set up a room and basically, you know, throw a sheet up on the wall and try to get as many people in there as possible and to watch it. And they would. And every once in a while, somebody would be there. There'd be a reviewer and we'd get reviews and so on and so forth. So I kind of started promoting my movie, my first movie, and the company at Comic-Cons. Yeah.
And you're doing that this time as well, but you're also here for the Aliens panel, 30th anniversary, which is just like so exciting. When was the last time you were in the same room with all those folks?
Well, this will be everybody. And we did do a get-together, I don't know, it feels like it's been about a month ago, in Houston. I'm not sure everybody was there, but everybody's going to be here for this. And Jim wasn't at the other one, and Gail was not at the other one, and they were really the engines, or the engine of all of Jim's movies, the two of them, yeah.
I mean, are you excited? I mean, what are you expecting to go down at that panel, and what do you think it is that makes Aliens resonate just as much as it did when it was first released, if not more?
You know, I don't really know, about Aliens is a movie that went, out of all the movies that I've made, and, you know, the first Terminator is a pretty good movie, and The Abyss is a pretty good movie, and The Rock is a pretty good movie, and Tombstone's a pretty good movie and a good role, and I've had a lot of great roles in those movies, and a lot of great co-stars and so on and so forth. But Aliens is a movie that is so fan-friendly that and all of them have, to a certain extent, fathers have given their sons that grew up, watching the father's films and so on and so forth. But to this day, I tell you, I have like a little girl like this tall, and I'm surprised her parents let her watch Aliens. And she'll come up and just hug my leg, and she'll know that I'm Hicks, and I'll say, what's your favorite movie? And she'll say Aliens, and I'm like,
cool little girl.
No, but I'm like, no, really, like Captain America. She says, no, Aliens, and so there's something about it when we made it. The cast, I don't think the entire time we were making that movie to this day, I don't think I've ever heard any cast member say anything disparaging about any other cast member and or Jim or Gail. And at the same time, too, Sigourney Weaver she's beautiful, she's incredibly talented, she is funny, she's smart, but what she really is more than anything else is she's passionate about her work, and she works hard. And I think Jim really, really appreciates that. I mean, we had to be on our toes when we were doing Aliens, because if we were someplace else and we heard over the walkie-talkies Sigourney's on the set, getting ready for, because they were well, we'll be ready in 45 minutes or whatever. So you scatter, you do your thing or whatever, and all of a sudden you hear Sigourney's on the set. It's like, I'm not on the set, and Sigourney's on the set, you know. I gotta get over there, you know. But she's always been so gracious, and it was just, you know, of course we didn't realize that 30 years later we'd be doing something like this. Nobody was even doing Comic-Cons at that time. Nobody had any idea that it would be that kind of movie, but it is, you know. And people, you know, there's Blade Runner, there's, you know, The Thing, there's, you know, a few science fiction movies out there, but I guess I'm a little biased, but I think it's the best science fiction movie that's ever been made as far as being fan friendly.
When was the last time you actually sat down and watched it?
Well, it's funny enough that you said that. I'd say about close to a year ago, probably about 8 or 10 months ago, I was, you know, flipping through, and I started right when they're soldering that door open, and it was right at the beginning of the movie, and they come in, and that scanner comes in and stuff. And I just stopped on it, okay? And it was a station that didn't have commercials. And I started watching it. I watched it. And I've seen it a few times, you know. I was like, and I don't sit around and watch my own shit. I mean, like, it's just don't do it, you know. And I didn't do it to watch myself at all. I just did it because I was like, fuck, that was good, man. This was good, man. This is good. This still holds my attention, you know, these characters and these visual effects. And they weren't really visual effects at the time. They were practical effects, you know. But it's just a wonderful movie. And it's just that what I noticed this time about the movie was that relationship that Sigourney and I have, which is kind of that flirting thing.
Yeah. They don't quite go to the next.
Yeah, and I looked at it, and I really take kind of pride in the fact that, like, I'm giving my leading lady, you know, kind of like the stage. You know, she's smarter, she's stronger, she knows this better than me. She's going to be the one who makes the decisions, and I think she appreciates that. You see that, and it's just a lovely little part of the movie, and everything worked. All the characters worked. Every character is so memorable in that movie. You know, I mean, they're just they're fantastic. Stay frosty, baby.
Yeah. So we're talking about aliens and stuff, but also let's talk about a little bit what you're also doing here with your company. I mean, what can we look forward to you guys putting out soon?
We have a couple cool things happening. One thing is that Hidden in the Woods is going to Sitges for the Spain premiere, and this is a big deal because it is the first of the two of them to go to Sitges, and Sitges is one of the biggest, genre festivals in the world, and the first one didn't go there, and so to be able to premiere it there is very cool for us, and feels good. It's also coming out in the U.S. and Canada December 2nd. It's going to have a little bit of a limited theatrical release first. And it stars Michael and William Forsythe and Rico Ross from Aliens, who's here. He's going to be here later tomorrow. Electra Avalon from Robert's movies, and I'm in it. And my co-star from Dark Angel, Richard Gunn, is in it, and we play cops together like partners. So there's some kind of cool kitschy stuff in it. There's a lot of cool. Chris Browning's in it. From the Book of Eli. He's fantastic in that, and many other things. But
shot on location in Texas.
Mm-hmm. Janine Kaspar's coming out in it.
In Houston?
Yeah, we were in hot Houston.
Was it as hot as it is out here?
I think it was hotter and more humid, and also we were in I think Dallas and Austin have kind of figured it out, industry-wise. And we have a lot of really good friends we've made in Houston, and investors and cool people. But I think the industry itself hasn't quite worked itself out yet. It's sort of like a good old boy kind of territory, and apparently we pissed somebody off coming into town, and so our trailers never showed up. So William was like sitting in a U-Haul truck, and Chris got off the plane and was brought to set, and somebody was driving up with trailers and then driving them away because it turned out they were showers. But, it was
Jim Cameron said to me once, he said, Michael, it's only about this.
The rest
only
is
about this. All this other fucking bullshit that's going on. Me fighting with the fucking
Yeah.
crew here and
Yeah.
this and that, and them having an affair over here. And
I know. I gotta remember that in my own brain.
Nothing means anything except for that.
He was always ahead of the game. On
Way
almost
ahead of the
every-
Oh, the
Oh,
came on
dude.
just came out.
You know, you
like
mentioned
Later.
the Abyss, that you like the Abyss,
Oh, yeah.
and if I'm not mistaken, the first CGI that was done on film was that water
Right.
tentacle.
Right.
It's like the first time ever.
Yeah.
Now when you look at movies and you're watching movies, they're putting out and spending millions, lots and lots of money on. You see stuff and you go, oh, looks a little CGI. That helicopter looked a little CGI. But you go back to that movie and you look at that CGI, and that holds up as
so
well
cool,
back then
yeah.
as it does today.
That and
It's just-
T2, they were just so
Yeah,
cool.
I know. He's a genius.
So what else are you guys going to be doing while here?
We're basically here for Aliens 30th and to talk about some of the releases like Hidden coming out December 2nd. We've got The Girl with Michael and Tia coming out. It's the first week of January, wide. Just to come and talk to people about those releases.
I'm doing
and
a lot of interviews.
He's doing a lot
also,
tomorrow. With the whole group, with
Yeah,
everybody.
yeah.
Jim and Gail and Sigourney.
and then separately too, right? Don't we? Are they breaking
there are
this
some.
up?
Yeah, we've got a couple in the morning, and then they are.
They're
You
keeping
guys
us
are.
busy.
Yeah.
What is different about this Aliens Blu-ray edition? What is different?
I've tried to
Tell us,
explain
I
it to
know.
him. Okay. Well, they have new clips added. They have they've re-edited like the behind the scenes. They've added footage.
You know, Bill
They've
Bill Paxton.
colored
Bill
it
Paxton
differently.
calls it the movie
New photos.
that keeps on giving.
Yeah.
And they're like,
They're always like finding another clip that they unearthed somewhere, right?
like one more like off camera shot of like.
But it's because of that fan base, and they, like a super fan like myself, for these guys, like we'll eat it up because we're like, oh, something new. That's good. I'll take it.
I know.
And since one of our producers, one of our Texan producers, we were just talking about Houston, but this is a wonderful man, just walked in. I just want to say a movie that he produced just got acquired by Splash House and E1.
Nice.
And it's called Psychophonia. They're changing the name to Deadly Reception.
Very cool.
So there's that piece of news that nobody knows.
Okay. Exclusive.
Except for you.
And then one last exclusive I hope to get. Is there any kind of status update on Neil Blomkamp's Alien sequel?
Well, I was with Sigourney about 2 weeks ago in front of an audience, and she said to the audience, "We're doing the sequel, and
Michael's alive.
Michael's going to be in it." So, I mean, all that, everything,
he's on,
everything that you've seen on the internet, basically, if you dig deep enough, the only thing that I don't know at this point is whether they would let Ridley actually because Ridley did the Martian last year. He's kind of swinging the big one over there. Probably, but do we get to do Aliens next, or does he do his third Prometheus?
Right, but this
you
one's
know?
just wrapping, so it would make sense to do this one next. But I mean, who knows?
Would
We
make
don't know.
sense for us, but the way
It would make sense for us,
The
wouldn't
way
it?
that I think about it is, no matter what, I was in the best Aliens.
Oh, yeah.
And I was the star and the leading man, and feel very proud of the job that I and all of us did in that movie. And so I'm excited if they do another one, but no movie that I've ever done or ever will do again will ever match the experience of making Aliens and 30 years later sitting here talking about it. You know what I mean? I kind of give myself goosebumps. I'm usually tougher than this.
He's pretty tough, but I had a feeling this is a big thing going on here. I mean, there's a dinner tomorrow night that Jim's throwing for the cast. We could, I mean, literally we tried to add a kid to the list, and I mean it's tight. This is a big deal. They all get together, but to have everyone there on that panel in Hall
we all
H.
love each other.
Yeah, that's that's what Jeanette told me. Everybody keeps in touch. And,
Yeah.
Oh, they totally do. And we have Rico's in Hidden in the Woods,
That's
Rico
cool.
Ross, and I've bought stuff from Jeanette's movie, from Jeanette's store for
Yeah,
our movies,
yeah.
like bras, lots of them, and lingerie for Fetish Factory, and what else? Oh, I take yoga from Mark's wife, and
man.
it's just on and on.
That's
So.
too good. That's too good to be true.
You showed Jim the Victim.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Appreciate your time. I mean, it's a real thrill again.
Yeah.